got 5:59, yeah.
You got different sets.
No, I got 5:59.
I got
Sorry.
5:59.
You know what used to.
We're almost there. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call our meeting to order. Rob, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Least.
Here.
Mrs. Sweet.
Here.
Mr. Bear.
Here.
Mr. Whitaker.
Here.
Mr. Avery.
Here.
Mr. Hannah.
Here.
All members of council are present. Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Brenda, I'll go first. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular session of the Enon Village Council. This is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. I'm going to begin tonight's meeting with some information before we get into our agenda. Some of you here tonight may be here because of a recent change in the village's police department. While we are not permitted to discuss specifics, we can say that Chief Mike Holler will be taking a leave of absence until July 31st, at which time he will resign his position. This decision was mutual and was approved by all parties, including all members of council. The council and I appreciate Chief Holler's service to Enon and wish him the best of luck in the future. At this time, I would like to introduce Lieutenant Jeff Wise, who will be the officer in charge of the police department. Jeff started his career in Enon and recently retired from the sheriff's office with a total of 30 years in law enforcement. Jeff, welcome. Good evening.
Thank you. Most of you know me, some of you don't. I'm a lifelong resident of Mad River Township, Enon area. I graduated from Greenon High School in 1991, where I went into the police academy at Clark State, graduated from there, started actually in the village in 1994, and worked here until 1999 when I transferred over to the sheriff's office here in Clark County. The 25 plus years that I worked at the sheriff's office, most of it was on the Uniform Road Patrol, where I was a training officer. I want to thank the council for showing confidence in me that I can do this job, and hopefully we move in the right direction.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mrs. Sweet, did you have some words?
I did, sir. Thank you. Obviously, a few people are upset by what they perceive or have been led to believe in an attack on Chief Holler. You've believed what you've read on social media or heard from others. Were any of you in the executive sessions when facts were presented? Or decisions that we all have agreed on, by the way, were made? We did not make an overnight decision, but several executive sessions were needed to come to our conclusion. We also sought legal counsel. Are we happy about it? No. Each one of us said in the executive session, and I think I can say this without disclosing confidential information, that we like Mike, but nonetheless, we have a responsibility to the public and to other employees to be diligent. Thank you for listening to me.
Do we have any additions to our agenda tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll go into minutes. We have several sets of minutes. We'll start out with the first set. This would be Monday, December 30th, 2024, and that was our organizational meeting for 2025. So if council is satisfied with their contents, I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Those minutes are approved as presented. Next set of minutes, Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Again, if council is satisfied with their contents, I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Those minutes are approved as presented. Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Again, I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
And those minutes are approved as presented. Last set of minutes from the special meeting Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. Again, if council is satisfied with their contents, I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Hannah,
Yes.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Good evening, Rob. I will turn the financial report over to you this evening.
Sure, okay. We'll do fund balances for the month of January are as follows. General fund balance, $229,000, $990.06. Street has $34,385. We still have some money in the ARPA fund, but that all is encumbered, and we should be writing a check for that shortly. Police fund, $147,592.87. Water fund, $382,514.30. Balance of all funds, $893,199.40. That general fund and police number may seem a little bit low, but we are at the end of the 6-month period before we get our next property tax settlement. So I think you probably have your property tax bills in the mail, so we should be, I don't know that we'll have them reconciled by the end of February, but we will have them in March, so we'll have a big influx coming in the next week.
Do we get them like the second week of March?
Depends on how quickly the auditor's office is able to do their reconciliation of what they get, but
Good answer.
traditionally, so.
Okay.
We will have it by the end of March. Nothing out of the ordinary with the financials this month. We have all of our taxes and all of our reporting is done. Our Hinkle report is in. I've made contact with the state auditor's office about the status of our audit for this year, because this is an audit year for the previous two. We're going to have the same firm that we had the last 2 cycles, but this will be the last cycle that we have outside auditors do it. And the next time we go through this in 2 years, the state auditor's office will take it back in-house for a cycle or 2.
And if I missed it, when are they anticipating on starting?
I haven't heard from the firm yet, just that
Gotcha.
the state auditor's office.
Okay.
So. But we have everything ready
Good.
to hand
Good
over.
news.
To hand over when they are.
So you need that financial report approved?
If someone is so inclined.
I'll move that we accept the bank reconciliation for January as presented.
I'll second. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
And call the roll, please.
Mr. Hannah,
Yes.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Okay, that report has been approved. Any other financials?
No, thank you.
Questions for our fiscal officer? Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
I failed to mention, in the back, we have Chief John Heath with us. Welcome, Chief. Good to have you. Communications, you should have received a copy of another applicant. Jason Robison, 210 Western Avenue, is interested in, I believe, serving on the Board of Zoning Appeals. Yes, he's a police officer for the village of Cedarville and would like to get more involved in the Enon community. So we have 2, and I would recommend probably at the next meeting that we review those for possible appointments. We don't have any meetings coming up or scheduled?
No.
Okay, all right. So that would be my recommendation to council.
How many spots did we have open? Was it? I think we had 2 open, but we asked for interest in it regardless if we had them filled or not.
Exactly right, yes. So,
Okay.
staff reports. Kevin, good evening. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, residents. The first item there you have in front of you is the Mayor's Court report for the month of January. There was 3 traffic cases. Total funds received for the current month was $1,911.25. Year-to-date, $1,911.25. Total remitted to the state, $192.50. Year-to-date, $192.50. And total remitted to the village, $1,711.25. Year-to-date, $1,711.25, and brings us back to the total dispersed of $1,911.25.
I'll move that we accept the mayor's court report as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the report? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
That report is approved as presented, and continue on.
Next item is the Citizen of the Year. Deadline's coming up in a couple days, February 13th. If anybody's interested in nominating anybody, please have that into our office by February 13th. Blood drive is February 12th. There are 9 openings left. There's 38 appointments made so far. That time is from 12:30 to 6:30 on February 12th. It'll be inside here, the council chambers, like we initially started. If anybody's interested in donating, that is, you can get online and get on donortime.com. That's February the 12th. Jamie Epperly, our water personnel, he passed his water supply 1 exam, so we're pretty excited about that. He's really excited. He was, I shouldn't say stressing out. We knew he could do it, but there's a lot involved in taking a EPA test. So,
A state exam is always stressful.
State exam,
Yes.
it was stressful. So, but he's relieved now, and he's excited to keep moving on. So, Warden ditch update. The county had started trimming back all the trees along the ditch there. If anybody has been out there to take a look at it, it's going to be really nice. They're doing a good job. They're not quite done yet, but they got a good start on it. So if you venture out that way, just kind of take a look and see the progress on that. So we're hoping that naturally weather permitting, I know we're going to be getting some rain and ice and stuff like that. So we're hoping that it would be done next week sometime. But
And can you
it's hard.
clarify, we're not digging anything out, it has some kind of a grinder on
Yeah,
it
it's like almost
that's-
like a rotary mower, like a bush hog that's on hooked to their track hoe.
So then we end
They're
up like
just-
mulch.
They're just grinding it up like mulch.
Okay, that we're
Nothing's
not
being
picking up,
hauled
it's just
away.
going
It's-
into the, okay,
Yep, it's just
thank you.
It's grinding up, yeah, like you said, like mulch. So it looks pretty nice. So, next meeting, I'll have my employee evaluations done for the next meeting to be handed out to council, and also the 2024 annual report should be completed by then too, so we can, we're putting some final touches on it now, then we'll turn it over to the mayor to, he can proofread it, and then once he does, then we'll get it out. But I'm anticipating next meeting, we'll have that out as well, so. Other than that, I think at this point, that's it.
Questions for our administrator?
Kevin, the Citizen of the Year, have you received any?
I thought we had 2, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's 2 adults or, I'm not
Oh.
100% sure. I can find out and let you know.
Okay. And then also, just on behalf of the council, in case anyone else doesn't see him, please congratulate Jamie from us.
Yes. Will do,
Absolutely.
will do. Thank you.
Any other questions? Jeff, I'll turn it over to you. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. First, I'd like to start out by the best thing a superior officer can get is a compliment from another agency. I would like to recognize Officer Hupp, Jacob Hupp, standing in the back. I received a notification from Mad River Township Fire Department on how well he worked with their crews to make sure that their crews and the residents were safe during
Hey, Jeff, grab your mic real quick, please.
during some stressful calls at a local residence. Again, it's not that often that we get compliments. Most things that we get, as well as you guys get, are the negatives that you hear. So thank you, Officer Hupp, for being such an outstanding officer.
Good job.
Thank you.
Job well done.
Started out for the stats for the month of January, we had 64 dispatches, 78 traffic stops with 21 traffic citations, 2 assists with the fire department, 11 assists with Clark County Sheriff's Office, 1 traffic crash, and 10 arrests for the month. So, not a great big busy month, so we are working on some changes. I'm working with the officers, trying to make some changes that will make their job easier as well as mine. Hopefully they keep coming in.
Good job. You're doing a good job so far.
Thank
Appreciate it. Questions for Jeff, our lieutenant?
So for the future on the stats, we talked about this before. Obviously, you weren't here, but if we could get like the previous 2 months prior to this one, and then maybe like the year to date one, like so January of 24 would come with January of 25, just so we can see, you know, relative year apart, and then prior 2 months.
I'll have to check and see if I can locate those.
I'm sure that,
files.
I know we have Mike had a spreadsheet to keep them all, because we would get this every month.
That may have
But
been
yeah,
on-
if we could just get them all.
That may have been on his annual report. I don't remember if he had that posted up as far as monthly
Well,
stats.
I think it was totals.
Yeah, I think it was total,
total.
but,
He just
I mean,
said
if
totals.
it's, I mean, something that may not be, you know, for the next meeting or so, but
Right.
something that, when you can get to it, it was something that we would like to see. And I would also like you, I've heard compliments coming back, so, from the public, so thank you for, doing a great job so far. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
One thing I did want to mention, one of my main goals that I want to do is to get the police department back interacting with the schools. I had an idea, I spoke with the mayor, referenced this. I have to meet with Superintendent Kanapke to get it approved, but I would like to, with your guys' approval, put the green and logo on all the cruisers to show our support for the schools.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
great idea.
I know
Please and thank you.
Chief Heath has it on the
Yep.
fire trucks.
Go Knights.
Of course. Thank you for doing that, Jeff.
You want that?
I haven't seen it.
Any other questions or comments for Lieutenant Wise? Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, we have no committee reports, old business, new business. We'll go into comments from the public. This is your opportunity to address the Enon Village Council. You will have 3 minutes. Please keep your comments respectful, and we will not be discussing any personnel issues. Would anyone like to address council this evening?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.
17.